We argued, she agreed to delete all her social media accounts but... Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. I, 31M, and her, 28F, dated back in May of 2019. We met on Tinder and kept seeing each other almost 4 to 5 times a week. She used to live 2 hours away and make the drive to see me. By the end of August she delivered the news to me she was pregnant and it was my baby and she is in love with me. I never said I love you back but I had feelings for her. She has 3 kids from a previous relationship. After deep thought I decided to propose to her, she said yes and we got married in October of 2019. We rented an apartment in my city and she moved in with me but the kids stayed with her family since they are already enrolled in school. We were both working and our relationship was perfect till I started to notice in her Snapchat she added men and chatted with them but deleted the conversation. I was suspicious for a little bit but I ignored the whole thing. One day we had our argument after I saw stuff on her old phone that the kids use when they come to spend the weekend with us and I asked her to get rid of all her past and anyone she was sleeping with. She decided to delete her Snapchat and social media. She got pregnant again after she delivered our first baby together and stayed home because of COVID. Her kids moved in with us and transferred school. I work and pay the bills and she stays at home. We talked about social media and she got it back and I never looked at her social media anymore. Since we both don't have any money saved at all, I decided to get into the stock market and try to build a better future for her and the kids. She was very supportive and understanding. She got a morning job while I stayed home watching the babies and dealing with my business till she got home so I could go to work. I couldn't do well with the kids around me so I asked her if she could find a job in her family town till our lease is up and we moved there. Her family was willing to help around with the babies so she thought it was a good idea even though she does not like to stay at her mom's house. She went back to her old job which is in the food industry and lived with her mom during the week and came to spend the weekend with me. We FaceTime each other every day and text as we used to. We also have each other's location shared. Last November she come to stay with me and after we had sex she went to take care of the babies and I stayed in bed. I looked at her phone and there were some naked pictures in there, some of them were sent to me and some were not. One of her best friends is willing to sleep with anyone so I went to read their conversation to see if there was anything suspicious. I found some stuff and I woke her up to ask her why would you lie to my face and ask her friend to cover up for her. She insisted on lying even though I have proof so I asked her to leave and that we are done. Half an hour later I called her and said this time I am going to forgive you but never do it again. There was a Snapchat user who was claiming she did not know who it was. She came back home and everything was fine. She left for her family town that night and I kept thinking about everything and how it doesn't make sense. The next day, we talked on the phone and I was trying to make her tell me the truth which she did not till hours later of us arguing on the phone. The year ended and I moved in with her at her mom's house. Since the beginning of this year, we kept arguing every Friday till one day I decided to go through her phone. I saw a screenshot carton picture a few months back in her phone about a guy having sex with a woman and kids watching them and it says on it you're annoying kids and baby mama. She took a screenshot of one of her coworkers' Facebook stories. I found a clock in a paper for her and in her purse and when I asked her why she had his clock in paper with her she said she had to adjust the time cause he forgot to clock in but they both clocked in at the same time. I found a password for Craigslist so I checked on Craigslist and found out she was trying to sell some pictures on there. I checked her email and found out she was emailing a few people. One of them told him her race and she was DDF with a face picture of herself. She also downloaded a text app back in 2020 while being pregnant with my baby but nothing sexual between her and the man she was texting but that's the only text I found. No proof she physically cheated and after talking in a calm environment she swears never physically cheated on me or sent these pictures to anyone. The only reason she was using Craigslist is that she does not know anyone in town except the people she worked with. Again, I could not let it go so I figured out how to download Snapchat data which shows every Snapchat you added or talked to if the conversion is saved with dates and time. Unfortunately, she deleted and cleaned her Snapchat chat and friends before I thought about this so there was not much to catch. She was adding people since she met till November 2021 when we had our argument. She was adding more men during the time she was staying with her mom and after a lot of talks she denied knowing who the person was. I showed her the day and time of her adding and deleting that person and another person as well. They were added after she moved in with her mom exactly when she started taking these nude pictures and deleted them back in November after our argument. She admitted to sending these pictures to one of the accounts, which is a person from the same race as I am, and she was sleeping with him before me. I went through her conversation with one of her best friends and found out she left her mom's house in October of 2021 at midnight and came back at 3 a.m. to give the stepdad food she cooked. Last week we argued while she is at work and I brought up this subject. She was crying and telling me I wanted to leave, that's why I can't forget about what she has done. I asked her face to face where she went and why I couldn't find our text messages on that day on my phone. Her response was, I went to this coworker's old lady's house and we talked. Maybe I do not remember what we talked about. I asked her, how do you leave the house without me knowing about it in the middle of the night? It's literally the time we FaceTime each other or text since I stay up late at night. Our anniversary was 3 days away and you left the house in the middle of the night? I was able to add the guy she sent the pictures to and ask him if they met. He swears he has never met her since we got married and they only communicated through emails and Snapchat. She does not believe in God and she swears on my life and the kids she never physically cheated on me. I find it very hard to believe her, especially with her adding people of different races and skin color. I don't know if she has a fantasy about skin color or race. She was trying to start a conversation with a whole stranger. Our sex life was perfect, and I was always there for her and the kids. She wants us to see a therapist, but I do not think I can stop thinking about her physically cheating on me. All she cared about was cuddling and watching a TV. Kids and babies annoy her. I have asked her so many times to call daycare for the last 2 years, but all she says is they are expensive. She does not make as much as I do, even though she can serve and make a lot of money, so money isn't the big issue. She has a high school degree, and I have a bachelor's degree and just got my green card. I finally can work somewhere related to my major. Everyone is telling me to leave and take care of myself and build a better future for my kids. All my family are overseas and have never seen my kids. I'm mentally all over the place and do not know what to do or who to talk to. Her mom, sisters are all cheaters according to what she told me. With Valentine's coming up, would you stay or leave in a relationship like this? How would I tell her I want to leave? Should I leave now or wait till next week? She loves me so much, but if she really did, she would not have done any of this. She was definitely trying to cheat on me or maybe cheated already. Here is the second story. My STBXW blatantly did something in our camping trip, so I left her there. Undoubtedly some people will say I am the bad guy for leaving her at the camp. But I woke up to find her having sex with a man next to me in my tent. I was feeling a million different things, so I just got in my car and left. We went camping last month for a break, but there were 3 Australian guys in our spot who said we could share the space with them, so we did. Our very first day there, while swimming, my wife accidentally loses her bikini and flashes for them 3 right off the bat. I didn't make a fuss over this because perhaps she did lose it on accident, whatever. Next day, one of the guys asks to go hiking with him, but I'm about to nap, so my wife says she'll go. An hour later I receive a picture from her of her facing away from the camera topless, with her arms out wide. She says the guy she went hiking with took it for her. I expressed my extreme unhappiness with this, and she apologized, so I let it go so it wouldn't ruin our weekend. Over the next few days, she continues to flash for these guys by mistake and teasing them, and these 3 guys cheer her on and make comments about her body in front of me. I didn't say anything because I don't want to be the awkward jealous husband here, so I just stay quiet. On our final night at the camp, we're sitting at a fire, and all of us have had a lot to drink. This is where she really started to take things too far, by dancing for those 3 guys, completely ignoring me, and once again, flashing a lot. I was pretty drunk at this point. As I stood up, I stumbled on something and hit the ground head first and passed out. The first time I came to, couldn't open my eyes, just hear my wife asking if I'm okay, and one of the other guys saying it's just a bump, and I passed out again. Well, the next time I came to, must have been in the middle of the night, I heard moaning. I thought I was hallucinating, but realized this was a pleasure kind of moaning. So I opened my eyes, and what do I find? My wife on all fours with one of the guys behind her, while she is telling him to be quiet because her husband is right next to them, and them discussing the other 2 guys she cheated on me with. I sat up, and they looked completely shocked, at which point I started crying, and after got in my car and drove away with her chasing after me, also crying, for some reason. Since then, I have been getting messages, calls, from her family who are furious with me for leaving her at the camp. She obviously has not told them the reason, and I'm not planning on talking to them until I have properly looked through my options with my lawyer. This divorce is really going to cost me, badly, even with infidelity, which I don't know how I'll prove. The state I'm in is very harsh to men in divorces. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.